In November of 2018, the team of ROCO 4x4 exported 8 of their best builds to Honduras.
Even though this was my backyard, it was no easy task. This was a challenge, and that's what we live for.
Most people think about off-roading either in a race or recreationally in an off-road park. This has been unprecedented. This was overlanding with a group of people internationally. This is ROATÁN 2018.
Estoy aquí representando a ROCO España. Es que yo mandé un Jeep completamente stock a ROCO Miami. Lo han puesto impresionante, como podéis ver en los vídeos.
One of the hardest tasks was to build the brand new 2018 JK from scratch in only 2 weeks. There was a lot of pre-work that had to be done because we were exporting all the vehicles to a country that didn't have spare parts.
Carlos invites me back to Honduras and spend 10 days in the jungle of Honduras. I was excited. I was ready to do it. I wanted the mud, I wanted the rain. Then we checked the weather. We said we're gonna have 10 days of rain. I was like, yes, it's time to test the BFG tires, put those crawlers out to the test, air them down, and hopefully we don't have issues.
Honduras, the heartbeat of America, the pulse of the Caribbean, a country with roads filled with ancient stories that will lead you to live great adventures. In Honduras, there's life to discover at every destination. This is why we hosted the 2018 ROCO 4x4 Adventure Week. Over the course of 8 days, 11 people from around the world put themselves and their vehicles to the ultimate test. This is their journey.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy.
The flight was incredible. Flying in, looking over Honduras, got me really excited.
So how was the flight, man?
It was good. Watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
'Cause I won't break my heart, no, I won't wait. You're in trouble, D.
We made it to Honduras, our first stop, Omoa. We were welcomed by the Department of Tourism, where they unveiled the ROCO 4x4 survival kit. All the drivers were pretty stoked to see what was inside the boxes.
You better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say a single word, or I will strike you where it feels. You think that using her would get to me? And if you're right, then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break my heart, no, I won't wait. You're in trouble, D.
We've only been in the country for a few hours, and the weather's already pounding down on us. But we won't let the rain stop us. We're gonna take the Jeeps, and we're gonna start driving to the property we're gonna be spending our first night.
So we're going to a waterfall where we're gonna have some beer, and we're gonna have some soup from that is native from Omoa.
Cheers, guys! Yes! Ices are good?
Really good.
It's really good?
It was an incredible night. I even danced to the Danza Garifunas at the end of the night. This is the start of day 2 of ROCO 4x4 Adventure Week. Yesterday there wasn't a lot of wheeling, so everybody's really excited to get their tires dirty today. Yesterday was an amazing time at Omoa. Now we're going to be driving to San Pedro Sula, taking the back roads, and hopefully we make it by daylight.
So the second day, a lot of rain coming down in the jungle, you know, slick, muddy terrain. The cars perform flawlessly. We have everything from 33s to 42s, leaf springs, coilovers, you know, bypasses, a wide variety of rigs on this trip. And with mud, you know, comes extremely slick surfaces. But then the beauty of Honduras is they throw in some huge rocks, you know, in the mix to kind of trip you up, make things a little bit more difficult. It was a great day of wheeling. Absolutely fantastic.
We're stuck in the mud out in this beautiful rainforest. We're training, and this lovely woman just brought me coffee.
Sacando el winch porque un coche al pasar por encima de una piedra se ha quedado en el aire y tiene las ruedas sin tracción. Entonces necesitamos darle un tironcito para atrás para que vuelva a coger tracción y bajarle de la piedra.
The first hard obstacle, to get on the throttle to get out. Unfortunately, when I got out, I fell into a ditch. I was just full of adrenaline, buried a 42-inch tire. It was so buried the winch wouldn't even pull it out.
Después de ver a Rebeca quedarse en el lodazal, yo decidí darle gas y cruzó de una. Impresionante.
Incredible. He became put it to work. I like it.
Day 1 was very wet, very muddy. It's supposed to be the easiest route. I think it was absolutely the most challenging day because of the weather and the conditions. I think everybody struggled a little bit.
The Sprintex vehicle performed well, as it always does. Gets in a bind, supercharger does its thing, no problem getting up that mud.
a lot of suctioning mud. Now we're gonna go to Expo Centro where we have a surprise for our guests.
Señores, ahora vamos a tomar 30 minutos aproximadamente de carretera bajando la montaña y después vamos a tomar 30 minutos de pavimento. Más atrás en una cuneta. Estamos sacando los pasos. Hay que tener cuidado porque se está oscureciendo y hay varios obstáculos un poco tricky, así que tengan mucho cuidado también. Ya está listo, ya está listo.
Estando en la montaña, como estaba lloviendo, se hizo muy tarde. Teníamos planeado hacer muchas cosas ese día. Nos estaban esperando en una exposición de vehículos desde, creo que era las 3 de la tarde que teníamos que estar ahí y no terminamos llegando sino hasta las 8. Pero bueno, igual nos estaban esperando, entramos. El sitio es espectacular con vehículos de toda clase, antiguos, modernos, rústicos. La gente quería ver nuestros carros. Al final, por lo menos llegamos y logramos compartir un rato con el club de carros antiguos.
How can you not appreciate a 1956 Toyota Land Cruiser in almost mint condition? That's cool.
Day 3, we woke up in San Pedro Sula. It's very important for us to have a driver's meeting. We want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're going to be exiting the city. It's a weekday. There's going to be some traffic and we don't want anybody left behind.
Un descanso muy bueno para hoy, iniciar de nuevo la ruta. No a romper el G, sino a disfrutar del viaje.
Today we woke up again at another beautiful hotel. It was the Intercontinental, I believe. Drove through the city. Again, didn't know what to expect driving through the city, but we didn't really have any problems. The traffic's really aggressive. You know, you have to stick up with the Jeep in front of you. So as we left the city, and obviously, you know, paved roads, and we started climbing the mountains, dirt roads, and then rocky and the terrain. You know, then it was everything.
Estamos chequeando que esté todo bien, ya que vamos a cruzar este maravilloso puente.
Entonces, ese puente también es de los más largos que hay en Honduras y se siente un poco extremo y atrevido también el puente porque no le dan mucho mantenimiento. Al principio un poco asustados, pero cuando empezaron a ver pasar las mototaxis más relajados y luego pues empezaron a disfrutar el cruce del puente, pues creo que fue una bonita experiencia para ellos.
dirt roads with big bumps, and the vehicles are really loaded right now with all the luggage and waters and everything, so some of them we have to adjust them a little bit to make the ride a lot easier and stop, you know, the bouncing around. And it's about to rain, so it will get muddy, but we'll have fun.
After a long day on the trails, we finally made it to PULHAPANZAK, one of Honduras' most beautiful waterfalls. And even though it was dark, we were still able to feel the powerful sounds of the waterfall. I can't wait to see this tomorrow morning.
Amazing. A lot of beautiful sights, people out riding horses, just beautiful country. Absolutely fantastic.
Day 4 is here. We've had a lot of action already.
Amazing thing. Cliff diving, jumping into plunge pools, you know, getting behind the waterfall you couldn't even see. It was amazing.
For your life, really.
Sensory overload. Just absolutely amazing.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta do it.
We had a great morning. We went under the waterfalls. It was a great experience. I've never done anything like that before, and it was really worth the effort to go down that morning. We then got into the vehicles and road tripped across to a private property for some off-road park action. Along the way, seeing more villages and local attractions and some more really beautiful scenery.
We made it to the obstacle course. Here, we're not only going to see what the vehicles are made out of, but we're also going to push the drivers to the limits.
I was at Ultra 4 Nationals a couple weeks ago. Those trucks might have a problem with this. This is going to be awesome to see street legal trucks go through big holes.
pasa?
Me puse un poco nervioso.
Se resbaló una piedra y el cardán está justo tocando encima de la piedra. Y el carro sale por sí solo, pero mejor no romperlo y no romper el cardán. Todavía tenemos 3 o 4 días más de aventura.
Yo traté de hacerlo un poquito más, no más inteligente, pero un poquito más safe, digamos. O sea, cuidar el carro, no levantar llantas, no hacer un show, sino que realmente hacer un buen tiempo. Afortunadamente, mi gran copiloto Félix Maxim, ese rush también lo tenía. O sea, y es un tipo muy estratega. Y con la misma, como si él estuviera en el timón, pero estaba realmente dirigiéndome en las piedras. O sea, logramos hacer un muy buen trabajo.
El ganador fue Gaspar Jr.
Fue una tarde-noche larga haciéndole reparaciones a los vehículos.
Are you having any issues with your vehicle?
Yeah, we heard a noise when we were driving and we just went onto the hard road and we heard a clicking in the tyres and we thought that maybe the wheel nuts had come loose. So we came straight in the garage just to check the wheel nuts and we've gone underneath and found the front drive shaft is buckled.
It's been a great trip. I've done things that I never imagined I was going to do. And of course, wheeling, which is my passion and what I love doing. Fixing, getting stuck, breaking stuff.
We woke up on Lake Yahoa and it was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. We hopped on a boat, we had breakfast ready for us, fresh omelets and other great breakfast items there. I couldn't even get to my food because I was glued to my camera and just taking photos of the fishermen, and they're pulling huge fish out of the lake, and just the sun and clouds over the mountains. Just a beautiful setting. It was hard to beat that in terms of ways to wake up.
Okay. Entonces, del lago a Gracias agarramos la ruta del Parque Nacional Santa Bárbara, pero hicimos una parada en Las Vegas en una escuela de niños especiales. Se les dejó una donación de parte del grupo. Y desde hace tiempo sabemos que está la escuela con 70 alumnos con muchas necesidades y con cualquier tipo de discapacidad.
It was really humbling to see the kids playing with all the Jeeps. And truthfully, I think we would have been really happy to stay at the school the whole day. But we have a lot of ground to cover, so unfortunately, we had to take off.
So honestly, I've done a lot of trips in my life, traveled all over the world. This is probably number one already, and there's still a few days left.
It's incredible, everything that Honduras has to offer, and we're only on day 5. We arrived to a city called Gracias, Mentira.
Cuando salimos de Gracias fuimos a hacer un obstáculo ahí en el mismo pueblo de Gracias. El guía local que estaba ahí nos llevó por un caminito de piedras y cruzamos un rillito y luego entramos a una especie de cañón.
Birthday, Tyron.
A little bit scary, but great construction, and I just took my time and finally got there.
This was one of my favorite days. The trails were challenging, very technical, and I had a lot of fun.
We have a long way ahead of us. We're heading to COPÁN Ruinas, where we have a surprise for Tyrone's birthday. We're very lucky to have him be a part of this adventure. Day 7, woke up to a beautiful sunrise in COPÁN Ruins. Today is going to be a day where we're not going to be off-roading. We're actually going to take the time to immerse ourselves in the culture that COPÁN has to offer.
growing up, I've always heard of the Mayan ruins, and as a kid growing up where I come from, it was like, you know, when am I ever going to have that opportunity to visit somewhere like that, you know? And to come into town last night and find out they were literally just a couple miles up the road, and that was a part of our adventure today, was to actually go visit those. That was pretty exciting for me.
We just had a tour of a Mayan ruins experience, and it's pretty impressive.
Just going through the tunnels and seeing how these people were able to build these things under everything, and just being able to discover all of these artifacts and buildings and everything is just amazing.
Yeah, it really just blows your mind how back in the day they were able to do all this stuff they did with no technology that we have today. So it's a pretty impressive place for sure.
The group had an amazing time at COPÁN ruins, and some of us decided we needed to relax a little more. And we headed over to one of the most famous hot springs in Central America, Luna Jaguar.
My wife thinks I'm on a work trip. I really am, but this is incredible here.
Thanksgiving is very known in the United States, but unfortunately it's not very well known in Honduras. But we wanted to make sure that we felt at home. So we were able to coordinate a turkey dinner with a Honduran flair. We're hitting the tail end of this adventure, and we wanted to show one more scenic side of Honduras. But to get there, we're gonna have to hop on a charter plane.
So we are driving from COPÁN to San Pedro. We get to this rocky trail. We didn't really have enough time to go through the trail and then drive to the airport to catch the plane, but we couldn't resist.
Vamos a San Pedro Sula y a alguien se le ha ocurrido la brillante idea de meternos en un río seco.
Vehicles started to get stuck because the trail was really challenging. We were pressured with time. I started wheeling as hard as I could. I broke my wrecked, and then we had to coordinate how to now drive from this trail to the airport. So we ended up just leaving the trucks there. We had a rescue team coming and pick up the trucks afterwards.
We almost didn't make our flight, but luckily we woke up day 9 in Roatán. This is our last day as a group together, and what a better place to be than in a beautiful island with crystal clear water.
This is the dream come true. We come to Honduras, I wanted to see a monkey. I got 2 monkeys climbing on me right now.
Unbelievable landscape of Honduras. This is one beautiful country, you know, and that's not even the Jeeps and the off-roading, which is my true passion. So, I mean, ROCO Raw 2018 is probably the greatest vacation that I've ever had in my life. So I probably should contact my boss and maybe give some of that paycheck money back, because this didn't feel like work at all.
Yeah, this trip was definitely, they kind of dubbed it as extreme overlanding. It makes a lot of sense, actually. It was kind of some hardcore off-roading as well as the overland experience, where you're getting to immerse yourself in the local culture and experience things that others don't get to experience off the beaten path. It was really, really interesting.
I would super suggest that, you know, next year, hopefully we can continue on with it being an international event, and for it to be experienced in other places and other cultures and become a world-renowned thing.
You know you're gonna go home with memories, but I think we can all agree that we're all going home with a different perspective of Latin America, and that's just priceless.